Sim Racing Hub enters its 11th season, 20 rounds. Who will win tonight? It's Thursday night! One, two, three, 4, 5 lights. And we're racing in Suzuka. Last chance at Hungary.
No way. No way. Oh my god. He spun. Fisher is going slow. Did he run out of fuel?
Is Ricardo Sr. gonna get a point? This is why you love P11, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Battle for the podium, back and forth. Oh, here comes Montero again. Oh, they're in the wall. Oh yes, we are back at Sim Racing Hub. It's Thursday night, and we're at the Red Bull Ring for round 8 of the 2026 Sim Racing Hub World Championship. I am not Janos Magasrevi, in case you couldn't tell. I am Matt Hartley, and I will be commentating here tonight. Janos will be on the cameras, as he has a newborn child. Congratulations to him. Here is a look at the calendar. We've been to Australia, Japan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, Canada, Spain, and Austria, and we're almost halfway through the season. 18 rounds, so that will be at Silverstone in 2 weeks' time. But nobody's thinking about Silverstone so far. Everybody is just thinking about this circuit. So let's talk a little bit about, I guess, the former track known as the A1 Ring. It is now called the Red Bull Ring. I'm sure soon, when that sponsorship runs out, it will be the Visa Cash Scam Ring on the next sponsor. We have a live look here. I believe that's at Josh Mills, one of the Red Bulls. He disappears! Whoa! That's because he's ready for qualifying. Always a nerve-wracking time. You're trying to push the button as soon as you can to get out of the garage in front of Argenis Riera. Typically a fast pusher of buttons. Will he get out on track first here today? We have 27 seconds before the lights go green. We are on board with Argenis Riera predicting it, but he's not at the last garage. Oh, and there goes Harto. Jumps out in front of him, and Riera's all the way down in 4th place. That was close. The Kraken. Matt Harto is in front of him. The Visa Cash App scam of, I think that must be Bill Worrell in front of him, and one of the McLarens a little bit further down the road as well, next to my friend Jim. Let's all say hi to Jim. Hi, Jim. Waving us by. Jim's likely to die here tonight, as this is a treacherous pit exit, to say the least, and a treacherous turn 1. So we will see if everybody's going to make it round. But first, we have qualifying. We're going to be in Q1. There's only one qualifying session. The guy's already racing. Riera's got his DRS open, trying to, I guess, overtake the guys in front of him. I'm not sure they're going to be having any of that. Looks like Harto's responded with his DRS. So, guys are already racing here, trying to get some clear air. There is a reason at the Red Bull Ring that you would do this, and that is that the circuit is very short. So, with everybody now backing up, as you can kind of see, there's no guarantee of clear air if you're not one of the top cars in front. And of course, there's only a guarantee of clear air on your first run. Likely everybody to have 2 or maybe 3 runs here tonight at the Red Bull Ring. It is possible to do 2 hot laps. Most people will likely do just the one, come round, fill up the ERS and go into the pits. But it is possible, if you bail on the first attempt, if you have enough fuel, to do the second attempt. So we will take a look here at the Red Bull Ring. We have Montero, Josh Mills, and Argenis Riera fighting for pole position in the Aston Martin. So we will go on board with him into turn 1. Got to brake, dive the car into the right. Oh, he's hit the policeman. That's not the best exit. He actually saved it Now he's going to lose all that time going up and down the hill. We're going to break 100. Oh, that was about 75 meters for the corner. Missed the apex slightly, but beautifully on the power. Very, very tricky acceleration out of the hairpin. Down the back straight. This next corner has a lovely brake marker, which is the Sim Lab board. So we brake right at that point. We turn in nice and early. The car's going to pull you to the outside with the camber. And now we go through the most difficult complex on the circuit. A double left. It kills the right front tire. You can see using the runoff so fast there, Riera. Round that double left. We are going into the final 2 turns. Penultimate turn. Nice and wide on the way in. Clips the apex. Tons of speed. Too much speed. That's a cut. That's a cut. Ladies and gentlemen, that will not count that lap. So it is Hato on first currently with a 103.7. That will be beaten pretty easily, I would think. Here comes Montero. Purple, purple, and purple. And Montero goes 2P1 with a 102.9. Mills! 102.7 for Josh Mills. Josh Mills' qualifying pace is back. You can see the last 5 pole sitters in the bottom left corner. Riera, but Elise Tape in 2022, unfortunately not racing here tonight, grabbed pole, and Corey Mackey, the Maxter, in 2021. Who have we got jumping up the board? We have Lalanset in P3. That's a great position for him. Great so far for Red Bull 1 and 3. Fisher doing nicely in P4, putting up a good lap. Look at how close it is. Kovacic P5, Sturgeon P6, Riera looks like he's going around again. I predict this is probably just to go into the pits, however. Yes, it is. Makes it nice and early. Sturgio, Kovacic and Sturgio are actually side by side in the 5-6. Montero, is he going again? It looked pretty quick, but no, green only. Disappointing green. So that's the first run, really. Higgins, so Riera has yet to put in a lap because he obviously had the cut. Oh, Montero's going round again? Oh no, this is Sanabria. Sanabria, my mistake. This is Alejandro Sanabria, who hadn't put a lap in. Now he goes into P6. This is the kick Sauber of Darren Fisher. I'm not sure why it gives the numbers on the vehicles and not the names. That's going to be a little bit annoying here for a commentator, but that's okay. We know that this is Hato. He is on his out lap. And the car in front disappeared because we went on board now with Montero. You can see the sun on the helmet there, and Hato in the only Williams here tonight, so that's going to be easy enough for me to figure out. Walcott missing this race. Unfortunately, that tends to happen with the first of 1 Bermudans in the field. No Bermudans here tonight. Hato will be flying the flag alone for Williams. So Mills still has P1, Montero P2. Looks like Hato's getting ready for a lap around the penultimate turn. He's had some good pace to start the year. He's down in P9 so far. 9/10 of a second off. He's going to fly into turn 1. Let's go on board. Not quite as wide going in. Clips a lot more curb. Avoids that sleeping policeman. Avoids the Visa Cash App scam car on the right hand side. Now we're going up the hill. We're going to brake nice and late. Heavy braking. Can we hit the apex? Yes, we do. Beautifully. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit, though. You can see that Riera's car not doing that. So a green first sector for Hato. This might improve, but we're going to go on board with Montero because he is purple. He doesn't believe in green. He believes in purple. Now, hopefully the car in front that's weaving around believes in letting him by. It's one of the Ferraris, I think. Yes, he did get out of the way, so that's great. Will it be a distraction for Montero? He only needs to find 1.5 tenths in order to jump over Josh Mills into pole. Very fast. A downshift, an aggressive downshift there for Montero. There is a yellow in the second to last turn. Montero throws it in. Missed the apex by a mile. Throws it in again. Oh, and now he's off. He's off outside. Oh, and he's upside down. He's rolling around. Wow, that was exciting. Now, what is Montero going to do now? Because here comes Mills. And you can see Montero, okay, he's been smart. He hasn't tried to back up yet. Will Montero just call it quits? Riera jumps to P1 during all of this. We are watching Montero, who is righted now. We miss Riera's lap. He jumps into P1 by 1/10 of a second. Is Montero going to park it? Even if he doesn't, does he have enough time to get back to the pits? Wow, that was quite the incident for Montero. Like, when you say 100%... Oh, there we go. We're getting going. We're getting going. He is right of the ship. He's got 2 minutes 59 to get back around. He's got the DRS open. He's racing to get back to the pits. So that's what happens, kids, if you go into a corner with 252% committed into those final two corners. Montero was going for the pole. No doubt about that. And instead, he ended up climbing the pole. So we have Mills. It says he's on an outlap. He's going to move out of the way from Montero, although Montero's recovering back to the pits, which we know. So we'll look down the order. Kovacic jumps into P4. What a lap from him. The Ferrari of Dejan Kovacic is in P4, only 0.3 of a second behind Argenis Riera, and the times are really close. Really close. You've got 2 drivers 7/10 off, 3 drivers 9/10 off. Harto's down in 12th, a second off. Worrell's 13th. Rabi, this is going to be... It's really tight out there. This is great to see. Such a close grid. Oh, interesting. So Mills had to let that was Senior, I guess. He had to let him go by. And as a result, then Mills is going to be a little bit compromised to start this lap, as he's only chasing 1/10 of a second. Poles have been lost for less. That was brilliant. That was right on the edge through turn 1 for Josh Mills. Climbing up the hill. Heavy braking. Feel the bumps. Hits the apex, but again, just like Harto, not quite like Riera, did not get the same acceleration, and he is 0.3 down, going down the back straight. Dives into the corner. He could have turned in a lot earlier there, I feel. Yeah, and he's abandoned the lap. That corner's tricky. If you don't turn in early enough, you just happen to slide wide. You can actually get really close to the curb on the inside. So does that mean that Riera has another pole? Can Elise Tape or Corey Mackey stop him? I don't think so. Montero, I guess Montero could stop him. Does he have enough time? Yes, he's got 48 seconds. Montero, he's getting a lot of heat into those tires. They're screaming at him. I mean, he really wants them to stick. We can see that because the speed that he demands around these corners is incredible. Now, how do you respond after rolling over on your last attempt? Well, we will take a look and see how that goes. Into turn 1. Can he avoid? Oh, he hit the inside curb. He got away with it. Somehow the car was completely planted there. Sounded like he was in a little bit of a higher gear, and that might have been saved him. Heavy braking, really, really late. Wow, that car stops. Holy cow, that was early on the power, but too early. Montero is, again, giving it full commit. Now he's giving it full give up. So Riera looks like he's going to pull, unless Mills can do anything. Oh, hang on. Mills was purple, so he went around again. He was purple sector 1, but only 0.3 down sector 2. I think those tires are probably gone. Yeah, Mills here he's trying to give it the full commit. Oh, he just kept one wheel on, but that's not going to do it. You can see that the time just was dropping off. He probably had nothing left in those tires. Montero's going to give it up. Argenis Riera is going to have his first ever Sim Racing Hub pole. Oh no, sorry, wait, no, it was a wrong driver I was talking about there. Argenis Riera has his, I don't even know how many poles this guy has. I think he only knows how to start from pole. Luckily he knows he can do that today. Second place will be Josh Mills. Third place will be Ezekiel Montero in the Mercedes. So no great surprise, 1, 2, 3. Probably a little bit of a surprise that Mills overtook Montero in quali. Mills, the big negative of Mills really all season has just been the pace in quali. The rest of his season has been electric. So now that he's starting on the front row, I like his chances of getting to the turn 1 first. Oh, Acosta jumped up. We missed that. I say we, I mean me. Kovacic is P4. We caught that one, but Acosta with a last-minute great lap there. 6/10 down, but if you do look at this, he was the leading guy of the next pack. So a great lap there from our OTTO Acosta in the Alpine. Lalanset was P6, Fisher P7, Sanabria 8, Sturgiu 9, Harto 10, Orego, Rabi, Worrell, Higgins, and Mitsalis were rounding out the field. 15 drivers only tonight, quite a few missing. So if you don't see your favorite here, then why do you like them? You shouldn't like anybody that's not racing. So we will take a look here one last time at the standings. You can see the gaps on the right hand side in the times. 1:02.7 was the best lap. Pretty quick time. A 1:03.4 was only good for P10 there on the list. And you can see that a 1:03.2 would have got you P5. So a big gaggle of cars in the midfield there. Kind of behind probably the top three. We're probably going to see top three disappear. And then there's going to be a gaggle, a flock, a herd, a dogfight after that for P4. And of course, a podium if one of the front three decide to put it in the wall, which Montero does tend to like to run upside down around this circuit, as we have told. Look at all these people looking at me. Why are the people facing me and not the circuit? Yes. Quality broadcast we do here. I'm really not sure why they're all looking away from the action. Maybe they can't look at turn one because it's going to be such a disaster. You can see the banking up the hill to turn one. It is incredibly steep. It doesn't look it, but it's incredibly steep. And it's also incredibly short run with a very tight corner and a wide exit. Everything that you need for a ginormous crash, which we're hoping is not going to happen. While the drivers get ready for the warm-up, I'm going to warm down just a little bit. And we will be back in 2 minutes for the continuation of the Austrian Grand Prix from the Red Bull Visa Cash Scam app ring. Before I go, Janos is determined to make my life dry. So we are going to take a look here at the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull is leading 137 to Aston Martin. It's a 2-horse race for first place. Then we have Mercedes. We've completely jumped all of a sudden now to the drivers' standings, which we'll take a look at. Josh Mills actually is in first place. This was the driver's standings. For some reason, it was showing the car. Jonas Riera is P2. You can see, though, win. 4 wins in a row. Montero up and down and around, P3. Walcott, P4, with a bunch of podiums, even though he won't make it here tonight. It's incredible what Richard Walcott can do with such a limited time frame. Here is the standings. The Oracle is leading with 173. Mercedes 122. Aston right behind them at 118. We need Senior to get some points. Walcott and Harto P4, best of the rest currently. Alpine P5, McLaren P6. MoneyGram has 7, Stake F1 in 8, Scuderia Ferrari in P9, and look at this, every team has scored some points already here. The Visa Cash App Scam car team in P10. I will be back in a moment. And we are back with 1 minute to go in the warm-up for round 8 of the Sim Racing Hub World Championship from the Red Bull Ring. I've got my Monster Energy drink here. I'm joking, it's water. I don't play by the sponsor's rules. Also not playing by the rules would be that of Corey Mackey. He's not here tonight. Unfortunately, he came back into the series. He ran a little bit of a rule breach, and we're hoping to see him back in the series. He looked pretty quick. The Maxter can still drive the car around the track, and I think there's not too many people that can really fight for a win at Sim Racing Hub. You've obviously got these top 3 guys right here. Mackey would be one of them. Janos, listen, Janos is quick. Janos is quick, man. Well, you know, he was before his last child. Janos is quick. He's quick on the cameras. He's even quicker on the circuit. He can definitely fight for a W in Sim Racing Hub. Walcott, we know that he kind of falls into Ws from time to time as well. So we'll see if we get any surprises here tonight, or if our Argenis Vieira will take the win. Will Josh Mills continue his championship lead? He's been driving brilliantly, to be honest with you, because that car didn't seem as good as the other two. Montero and Riera kind of took off to start the season. I think Mills has really had to work at it in order to catch them back up, but catch them back up he has. And he's now leading the championship going into round 8, almost the halfway point. So we'll see if he can continue that on today. All of the flags there up top. We have 3 Austrian flags and then a Scottish flag for, I don't know, David Coulthard, maybe. Not sure why. We get ready for the drivers to make it to the grid. This circuit, it's easy to overtake in a certain sense, in the sense that you can make some overtakes. It's 71 laps, so it's going to be a lot of passes around here tonight, around the circuit. The only problem is that it, can generally cause quite a few accidents, maybe quite a high attrition rate. We'll see how the drivers do with the tires here today. C3, C4, C5, I believe are the 3 tires that we have. So the softest tires that we have, which means that the hards will be the mediums, and the mediums will be the soft mediums, and the softs will be the extra softs. Understand? Absolutely not. Me neither. Don't worry about it. We are waiting for the green lights. The marshals are furiously waving the green flags. They want to get this thing going. We want to get it going. I want to take a look and see, can Josh Mills beat Riera to turn 1? It's going to be close because we know that Mills can get electric starts. And he's going to be right alongside Argenis Riera. Will drivers prefer the outside? Will they prefer the inside? We will take a look as we're going to wait for a couple drivers to probably come back in. The usual shenanigans here. We have to make sure, as a Sim Racing Hub rule, that every driver is ready to go. And it looks like we are happy to continue with this. Drivers starting to line up. It's certainly not panic time in the season yet. Riera doesn't need to win here today. He's won the last 4 races. But, Riera's a guy who likes to be in the lead of the championship, and currently he isn't. So I think that he would like to put that right today. As we take a look at the starting grid for the Sim Racing Hub Round 8 Grand Prix from the Red Bull Ring. It is not the Red Bull that is in first place for Red Bull Ring. It's Riera, then Mills, then Montero, then Kovacic. Otto Acosta 5, JPL is 6, Darren Fisher in P7 for Kick Sauber, Sotiris Sturgio in P8 for the second Ferrari, great qualifying for Ferrari. Harto de Lone Williams here tonight in 9, Sanabria down in P10, he'll be disappointed. And then the 2 McLarens, 11 and 12, Arrigo and Rabi, in front of Bill Worrell in an unlucky 13. In front of Sean Higgins in even more unlucky 14. And then the Mr. Tony Mitsalis and Ricardo Sr. down in P16. He needs some points in order to keep that drive. They love him. They sign him every single year to another contract. I think he just signed a 30-year deal with Aston Martin, actually. Which, I mean, he'll be able to do so long as Riera keeps choosing him to be his teammate, because Riera keeps winning the championship, so he'll get the first choice. We line up ready to go for round 8 of the championship. We're going to head into the Niki Lauda curve. Up that drastic hill incline. Drivers starting to get the tyres warm. Of course, we won't know what tyres they're on yet. Our factor plays games with us. It does say that Arjen Riera is on the softs. It says Mills is on the mediums. Not going to buy it yet. We are not going to buy that yet. We are going to wait. We will get back to it after what hopefully is an uneventful lap 1. So here we go. We wait for the lights. "16 cars. Full of charge. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. We're racing on Thursday night. Oh, it looked like somebody almost jumped up from McLaren, got an amazing start. And actually, Riera got a better start than Mills did. They're close side by side. Going into turn 1. It looked like they locked over. There's a crash. That's Acosta off. I think that's Lalanset off. Oh, Sanabria is now going sideways. It's still happening. Somehow there's collision still going on. There's drivers on the grass. Oh, we got, yeah, there's Sanabria. Terrible start there for the second Mercedes. Great start from Riera. He holds off Mills. So the front 3 were kind of unaffected, but it looked like a little argy-bargy went on between Mills and Riera at turn 1. Certainly one of them locked up. So we have Riera, Mills, Montero, Kovacic, Fischer up 2 places, Sturgio up 2 places, Hato up 2 places, Higgins up 6 places, Rabi 3, Worrell 3, Senior, there's the guy. That 30-year contract, he's up 5 places. And the big losers, Lalanset, Orego, Mitsalis, Acosta, Sanabria. Sturgio actually is in P6. He gained 2 places, but it looked like he was involved in the turn 1 collision a little bit. We've got a yellow in Sector 3. There's only 70 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Sturgio, I said it too soon. He's fallen down the order, so maybe he had some damage on that Ferrari. Riera, Mills, already the DRS open. There is Sturgio in the Ferrari. What a shame for him. He had such a great starting position in P8. Kovacic's teammate avoided all of the carnage. He was the last car really to avoid the carnage because Acosta in P5 did not manage to. So it does look like Riera is on the softs. So we are going to take a look at the replay of the start. This should be interesting. This is on board with Lalanset. Janos has found us a camera from JPL. There goes the McLaren in the background. I think it was Orego with a great start. Lalanset, so far he's okay. Oh, he gets hit up the back from Sergio. It looks like he missed the braking. And Acosta just in the wrong place, wrong time. Unfortunately, that's kind of, Double TO's luck recently. And then this is JPL, I guess, overtaking everybody back through after, unfortunately. He was kind of a passenger, actually, at turn 1 there. This one is going to be, I mean, we're shaking here. We're nervous because this is going to be a mistake, I think we're going to see here from Sturgio. Oh, a ton of wheel spin too. He got a bad start. So maybe he was trying to catch up some ground. Oh, yeah, he just broke way too late, way too late. Obviously, he would have lost his front wing there through as well, I believe, or had some severe damage. We're side by side with somebody. But, yeah, that's a mistake from Sturgio. We'll see if the stewards report that one at the end of the race. Okay, so back live, what do we have? We have no change in the top 4. Hato is up to 5. He has overtaken Fischer. Rabi is 7. So he's made his way up through the field a little bit. Higgins and Worrell, those two guys, are 13 and 14 they started. They're up to 8 and 9. Orego is 10. Mitsalis had a great start. Well, he had a start. He avoided all the crash. It's not a red flag, I promise you. Where's Senior? Where's my God? Why are we in 15? Why are we? Come on. We need to get going. Still says we're up a place, but You know, we can do better. Looks like the gap up front is stabilized. Mills is just staying in the DRS, which we should talk about, because here there are 3 DRS zones. 3. One of them you wouldn't even know exists if you didn't know to push the button, which is coming out of the Niki Lauda curve at turn 1. Here's the tires. Riera soft, Mills medium, Montero soft. We have a bunch of mediums. It looked like Rabi was on the hards. So we've got Riera and Montero going soft. They love the soft tires, which is a little bit, I guess, strange, just because Montero seems to be able to get a ton of heat into his tires. So you would think that those softs would be screaming for mercy, but I'm not going to tell him how to drive. He's very quick. Can Mills stay in DRS? He can. The DRS, I believe, is... I know he's dropped out of the DRS now. 1.5 seconds, so Riera's pulling away, which is interesting because he's on the softs, Mills is on the mediums. So you would think that those mediums would start to come good to Riera's softs very, very soon. 1.8 seconds is now the gap. Sanabria has got the hards on. Whether he started with them or whether he pitted for them, I'm not too sure. Acosta's softs, Arrego's softs. So quite a few strategies you can see going out there. We might see that quite a bit today. It's probably a 3-stop race, maybe a 2-stop race. You don't lose a ton of time in the pits here. About 22 to 23 seconds is usually the delta. So it certainly does open up the 3-stop, because you do start to lose about a second a lap on used tires. So we'll see who's going to commit to the 3-stop and who's going to try to extend the 2-stop. No Glenn Cooper here tonight. If Glenn Cooper was racing, he would do a 1-stop. And on the next track, he would do a 1-stop. And then on every other track, he would do a 1-stop. We have a fight here for P8. This is where we start to see the gaggle of cars that we anticipated. There's a little bit more gaps than we thought because of all the collisions that was at the first turn. Really just caused by, unfortunately, the misbraking from the Ferrari. Worrell's actually under pressure from Arrego. They all have DRS, so DRS doing what DRS does, which is ruining the fun of some close racing. Arrego's got a good launch here. Out of the hairpin. Down the back straight. Will he make a lunge? Oh, he's looking to the outside. No. Don't do that. Just tapping the grass there, but that would have got Worrell's attention. We know that Bill Worrell is not easy to overtake. Janos has said it. I have said it. Everybody knows that Bill Worrell is not easy to overtake. But he's very hard to overtake when he has the DRS from a car in front of Sean Higgins. So these guys are on the mediums. I think all of them are on the mediums. Maybe, actually, no, Arrego, I think we said, yeah, he's on the softs. So that's why Arrego is desperate to get by. Those softs are going to start to drop off very quickly here. Probably looking at 11, 12 laps for the softs, 14 to 15 laps for the mediums, and hards, close to 20. Certainly nobody going to go 40 plus laps here tonight without Walcott, without Cooper. Oh, we have Harto drop down the order, so it looks like Fisher overtook Harto. So Fisher's back into P5. If you want to race here, join us at Sim Racing Hub. You can get your seat. Certainly have some seats available, usually later on in the season as reserve drivers and things like that. Get on the server, get some laps in. Everybody in the league will be happy to help you out, give you guidance and advice. Well, most people. Setups, you don't really need setups. Honestly, driving somebody else's setup is never a plan to succeed in sim racing. The plan is just laps, time, and just patience. You have to slowly improve, make slow increments, know what you change. If you make one wrong change, it can cost you months before you figure out what that wrong change was. So sometimes it's better to change nothing than to change something for the sake of it. Richard Haney loves a last-minute change. He's unfortunately not racing this year, but he loves a last-minute change. Warm-up is when Haney's making changes. So we still have this battle led by Haney's, former teammate, long friend in Sean Higgins, who's having a great drive here today, P8 so far for the Stake Sauber team. The pork chop Bill Worrell Visa Cash Scam app team is still under pressure, but actually Lalancet overtook Orego. So here's Lalancet going back through the field. He had some great pace. He's on the mediums. So this is how much pace Lalancet has. He's on the mediums. He's faster than Orego's softs, who's already started to drop off. We will see, can JPL climb his way through the field? Really was a passenger in that first turn incident. Wasn't his fault. Shouldn't be too upset. Oh, the double turn. That's never a good feeling when you kind of give it 1-2 shakes of the lamp. It's never a good feeling going into turn 1 to do that. And we are back. Back with this fight. Is Lalancet going to look at the inside of Worrell? What are we doing into the second to last turn? Ooh. Not a good idea. Apologies for the delay there. We are a dad. The kids do wake up. It happens. Okay? Sometimes we just have to disappear. Hopefully now we'll be back for a ride. 11 laps gone already in this race. Here comes Lalancet around the outside. God, they're really close. Whoa, defending, which he does so brilliantly. Oh, and Lalancet, oh my word, he nerfs Worrell out the way. Will he give it back up? Orego is chomping at the bit. Here comes Orego. Lalancet, will he give it back up? Will he ever? Come on, please. He's not going to give that back up. It was a little naughty, but maybe get away with that with the stewards. No harm, no foul, in the sense that, you know, if Worrell had the position still, it certainly wouldn't be a problem. So Lalancet, maybe a little bit of red mist, pushing his way back through the field, quite literally. Worrell's P10. Orego 11. This is still the battle that we're watching. This is the closest fight. We do have Harto behind Fischer. Rabi jumped up to P5, so he overtook both Harto and Fischer. And we have Riera in the pits, so here we go. Lap 12. Leader is in. Riera, the first man to pit. Wow. That's an aggressive strategy from Argenis Riera. Doesn't want to lose the undercut, which is extremely powerful here. Extremely powerful. Obviously not taking any chances. Kovacic is up to P2. Montero down to P3. So Kovacic has got past Montero and missed that one. He's having a great drive. An absolute stormer, Kovacic. Unbelievable. Worrell here still having a fight. He's actually now catching up Lalancet. So Lalancet hasn't raced off into the distance, which is a bit surprising. Riera has come out in front of this train crucially. Maybe that was luck. Maybe that was extremely good planning from Riera to come out in front of these guys. You don't want to be behind them and lose any opportunity on the fresh new medium tires. So Riera's going for a 3-stop. We know that. That is guaranteed. I don't think he's going to do a 4-stop. Winners win. 4 stops don't win. So Riera's going for a 3-stop. Rabi is in P4 and he's on the hards. He's having a stormer. As we see Riera coming through the field, overtakes Higgins into P7. That gets done quite nicely. There's a 3-second gap now to Harto and Fisher. And actually, oh, that's Harto and a back marker, I think. Oh no, Harto overtook Fisher. As we go back side by side with Worrell attacking Lalancet. This is brilliant. Zeros on the timing screen. Worrell goes back past JPL. Oh, and then Worrell goes off the track and JPL goes back past Worrell. Is Worrell going to still hold it? Oh, he had it. Brilliantly done. Oh, and he's done to the inside. JPL's tires look like they're marshmallows. Oh, and he still holds it. Arago is doing his head in. Arago is just losing it here. He has nowhere to go. The outside is covered. The inside is covered. Lalancet's going to pit. He's bailing on these tires. Those tires looked pretty done. Fisher's also in the pit. Harto is in the pit. So a few drivers starting to pit here. These are probably 3 stops. Fisher, Harto, Lalancet are all in the pits. As we can see. Looks like Acosta's in the pits too. He's gone backwards. Acosta's running. That's Harto. Acosta's running to Harto. He's probably got no front wing. It's difficult for us to see where the pit boxes are, but... oh, and Lalancet is trying to leave. Harto's trying to recover. Now there's 3 of them. No one's moving. Nobody... It's like they're stunned. They don't even know what's happened. Lalancet's stuck in his wing. Lalancet is now reversing into the post. Okay, now they're going. So Acosta looks like he's fit. Harto... Now Acosta's stopped. What in the blue moon is going on here? Harto's got no wing. Lalancet, I don't think he's going to have a wing. Acosta somehow has all the pieces on his car. And Montero's out. And Montero is out. How did that happen? Oh my word. Oh, and now we have a McLaren mowing the daisies. There's no grip out there. There's the Montero car. What has happened to Ezekiel Montero? What has happened to Sim Racing Hub? All of a sudden, the world's gone mad. We've got cars going backwards. We've got drivers crashing out. Did Montero lose connection? Electrical issue? Montero, oh, he lost the car. Oh, that's going to be a big crash. Yep. That's a big shunt. And Montero decided to call that one a day. Wow. And that's that. So the McLaren did eventually make it to the pits. That was Rego, who was mowing the daisies. Montero's out. Midsalis is out. We didn't catch that one. What is going on with the Acosta thing? Acosta's down in 16. Harto's in 12th. Lalancet is in 14th. Harto's back in the pits. Lalancet, will he pit again? Probably. I don't think they would have fixed the car. It depends, I guess, if they've already done a stop or not. But if you've already entered the pit box, I don't think it's going to fix the car. So, Rabi is getting attacked from Argenis Riera. Actually, Rabi looks like he's attacking Argenis Riera. Oh, we like a bit of that. Yes, please. Riera's struggling here a little bit. Now, Mills still hasn't pitted. Mills is the guy, obviously, Riera's racing right now. But Riera does not need this. He does not need the McLaren of Rabi to be getting in the way. Rabi's perfectly in his right to fight it. He's on the hards. This is crazy. Rabi on the hards, overtaking and fighting Argenis Riera, who doesn't seem completely comfortable here today. He's still incredibly quick and likely to win the race, but he doesn't look 100% comfortable here today. Rabi, of course, is not going to get out of the way. He's got the hards on. He's going to go at least another couple laps. Riera's going to have to make a pass here. As we have in the pits, Kovacic is in the pits from P4. He'll probably come back out in P4 or there or thereabouts. Actually, he might come out behind Higgins and Worrell because they haven't pitted yet. Yeah, Higgins is up to P4. Here comes Riera. He will eventually get the pass done. Yes, he will on Rabi. Brilliant driving from Rabi. Oh, Riera. Why is Riera weaving around? Rabi's perfectly in his right here to race Riera. He might be frustrated, yes, but guess what? Guys don't have to move out of the way. You got to make the pass. And he did. So now Riera can get his head down and get the gap going. Now the gap is 21 seconds, so in theory, Riera is still okay. Mills is going to come out right around Rabi, is actually what's going to happen right now. There's a 22-second gap to Rabi. We've got Senior and Sergio both in the pits. So 2 more drivers are in the pits. Rabi, yeah, he's dropped back a lot now. Maybe the weaving worked from Riera. Certainly you can see this track is going to start to get really busy. There's going to be guys laps down, especially with what's already happened here today with so many strange collisions, DNFs. We didn't have a full grid to start with, which is actually incredibly rare at Sim Racing Hub. Higgins is up 10 places. Look at that. Holy cowza. He's got the mediums on too. Hold up, Higgins has got the mediums on. He's gone 18 laps. Him and Worrell have gone 18 laps on the medium. That's incredibly impressive. Kovacic now is behind Sanabria. He's going to try to go past. This should be like taking candy from a goulet. Yeah, Kovacic is going to be much faster on those tyres. Which tyres does he have on? We will wait to take a look and see. We're a little bit far out. Some far out camera angles here today. It is the yellow mediums. Remember, the mediums are the soft mediums. C4s. Second softest compound that we have. So they're not going to last forever. They're certainly, 15 laps is kind of what you're going to get out of them. Mills, however, is getting a lot more than that out of his. He is still going round. So he's got 19 laps on the mediums. So Senior is in P10. Sergio P11. Coming back through the field. Mills still hasn't pitted yet. I think Mills has gone too long on these mediums. It's very impressive. Mills is able to do 20 laps on the mediums. I think most guys are doing 20 laps on the hards. I mean, Higgins doing it is one thing. Worrell is in the pits. Worrell's finally given way. Probably the smart move here from Worrell, because he'll get the undercut on Higgins. It's one thing for him to do it, but, Mills is going around the circuit a lot quicker. So, and fighting for the lead of this race. The only problem is he's losing a second a lap at least to Riera. The gap is down to 15 seconds now. So, Riera obviously is going to gain the track position back. We do think it's pretty clear here you've got a 2-stop versus a 3-stop happening. But at a second a lap gain, there's a lot of laps left. So, in this rate, if Mills doesn't pit very, very soon, this strategy's not going to work. So how long will he have to go? Maybe he doesn't want to put the hards on? He'll have to put the hards on. Yeah, he's going to have to put the hards on to make this work. Maybe medium hards? Yeah, so 42 and then maybe about 28. Mills, I think the reality is if you can go 21 on the mediums, you can go 30 on the hards, so I think it's time to pit, Joshy. Shouldn't be a problem, unless he really doesn't like those hard tires, which could be the other reason. A lot of guys don't. Some guys do, some guys don't. Sim racers are very particular about their tires. Favorite tires used to be the green ones with the green line, as Mills does pit, or those bright pink purple ones, which were the ultra super extreme ultra soft tires. which lasted about 3 corners. Way back in the day. So Josh Mills pits from the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix at Sim Racing Hub. Okay, so there's 22 laps gone, which you think, wow, that went quick. But there's still 50 laps remaining. We'll sit back down. We're going to be here for a little bit. There's Jim, waving him through. Jim's still alive. So far. Don't know how. Would have thought Acosta would have got him. Riera takes the lead of the race, so 8 seconds is the gap. Rabi pitted, so that actually worked really well for Mills, because Rabi's pitted, he's out of the way. Which just shows Mills went the same distance as Rabi did on the hards. Mills went on the mediums. Sanabria's up there, but he's all out of whack with strategies. Senior is in P11. Obviously, you've got Harto, Lal, and Seta Costa all recovering from the madness that happened. They're all still running. So, you know, credit where credit's due here. They've all decided not to throw in the towel. But, I don't know, there probably will be quite a few things being thrown maybe after the race on that one. Kovacic, P3. Now, what did we say at the start of the race? We said they're going to be battling for P4, best of the rest, unless one of the top 3 decides to put it in the kitty litter. The warning signs were there for Montero. We rolled it over in qualifying, and unfortunately, very early on in this race, Montero lost control of the car and put it in the wall. And that just shows how much these guys are pushing. You know, Riera, Mills, Montero, they're all pushing each other to new limits. And it's really impressive to watch, to be honest with you. Higgins is finally pitted. 23 laps from Sean Higgins. He still can't do a 1-stop, so he's still going to have to do a 2-stop. But that couldn't have gone any better for the Higster. That first stint. It was almost like the Red Sea. They all parted out of his way. I would have loved to see his camera on board from the first turn, because they must have just moved out of his way. Worrell as well. They probably just thought this was a gift. And then they got their heads down. Consistent laps. Didn't make any mistakes. They got some good shot and some points here today. No doubt about that. I guess Sanabria is really the one person right now who's... He don't belong there, I guess would be the way that I would say it. Not sure where he is in the rankings right now. Fisher's still in 5th. He's right behind Sanabria. Sanabria might be pitting soon. Again, to be honest though, you know, Sanabria was caught up in that first turn incident. He's obviously due for a stop. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one where the second... Oh, sorry, not the second Mercedes. The sole Mercedes ends up. Because, of course, Montero is out. So Mills put the hards on. Okay. So Mills decided to split the strategy. He's put the hards on. And that gives him ultimate flexibility now to decide what he wants to do in this race. He can obviously go super long on these hards. Maybe put the softs on at the end. Technically, he's allowed legally to go to the end of the race, but, you know, there's good on tires, and then there's just pure stupidity on tires, and I think 49 laps is way past the life of the C3 tires. The C1 could probably go about 90 laps. It's a very hard compound, but the C3, no chance. So Mills is going to stop again. We'll see what tires he does. He's not gaining on Riera right now. That'll be the hards. That's the fact that he's on the hards, Riera's on the mediums. So both these guys have used 2 compounds, which is the rule. You have to use 2 compounds at Sim Racing Hub. Unless it rains, red flag, yada yada yada, all of those things. We don't really have safety cars here. So we'll have to see which tyre. We're really going to find out, I guess, which tyre each driver prefers. I'm assuming Riera is the softs. But he might have to run the mediums twice. I think he probably will, because he pitted so early. Mills are probably the mediums that he would like. So I think both guys will end up on the mediums. So it's going to be a straight fight on the track to see who's going to win this race. And see if Mills obviously can keep his championship lead. He'll keep the championship lead regardless if this is how things finish. So lap 26. Oh, and we found ourselves another dogfight. Alejandro Sanabria, P5. Rabi has caught him up, obviously, on the fresher tyres. Both are on the hards. Rabi's done hards. So still a 2-stop for Rabi, but he's liking the hards. And listen, he was racing Riera with the hards, so he's really liking those hards. Sanabria then drops down to P6. And Sanabria is out of the race. And Arrego's out of the race. Hold up. Yeah, Sanabria's out of the race. He's gone. Surely an electrical problem. Are we going to watch a replay here? This is a replay? Yeah, this is a replay of Sanabria. And Arrego also is out of the race. What in the world is going on there? They were racing side by side. It's got to be an electrical problem, surely, because we didn't see any type of a crash from Sanabria. Nope. Yeah, and there he goes. And that was that. And Arrego, I think the same thing happened. That's crazy. I don't think they're sharing the same household. Wow. So Arrego, that sucks. He's now... Well, I guess he could rejoin Sanabria too. The funny thing is, Hato has only just overtaken Sanabria. Lalancet still hasn't overtaken. And Acosta hasn't overtaken them either. So, obviously, these drivers, they might get a point here today. But they're also fighting for ranking points, which we'll talk about. That's Fischer. It's P4 defending Rabi. Rabi looks quick. We know that. Fischer's been solid. I think he's using the tyres a little bit too much. He hasn't had quite the same electric pace he had in qualifying, but I mean, he's P4. So he's right there. He's got the hards on right now. Again, some drivers love them. Some drivers hate them. I'll have to see how this all plays out. Arrego's back in the race. He's in the pits, but he's back in the race. So yes, ranking points. So drivers... don't make a seat at Sim Racing Hub. The top 14 seats, I think it is, isn't based on championship standings. It's based on ranking standings. And you get points for every position that you finish in ranking points. So it is still worth Acosta going round and overtaking Arrego, as here comes Rabi up the inside of Fischer. It's always a tight one, but Fischer sees him coming. I think Fischer's realized these guys are on a little bit of different strategies here today. So probably not worth putting up the fight on lap 28. So Arrego's back in... Oh, Sanabria's back in the race too. So Sanabria is back in the race in P13. Arrego's back in P14. So they're back in the race. A couple laps down. But funnily enough, they're still in 13 and 14. Riera just put up the fastest lap. He's pulled out the gap. Wait, he pitted again. Yeah, Mills is leading the race, so must have missed that one. My apologies. That Riera, yeah, that makes sense because Riera pitted so early. So he went 12 laps, then 16 laps. Riera's certainly going for a 3-stop here, but he's going to struggle to make a 3-stop. If he doesn't use the hards, Riera's going to struggle to make this 3-stop work. He's going to have no tires at the end of the race. Because he's only managed to go 16 laps on that last stint, I think, if my math is right. So Mills is leading the race. It's an 11-second gap to Argenis Riera. Kovacic, I mean, we haven't seen him. We haven't talked about him. He's having a stellar drive in P3. Rabi's in P4. We're watching him. He just overtook Fischer. Fischer's in 5. He's got a nice gap to Worrell and Higgins, which we are watching this fight right here. These guys have just been connected by one of those string phones since the start of the race. They talked to each other. They got themselves through a difficult time at turn 1 after a dreadful qualifying. And look at them now. 6 and 7. And the only way is up, really. I don't see anybody behind them that's going to really beat them. Sergio, we know, has had some issues. He also has to go see the stewards after the race, probably. Ricardo Senior. All right. Okay. we're back in P9. Here we go. Fisher's back in the pits, so yeah, that confirms that he's got quite a lot of wear if he's already back in the pits with the hards. So Fisher's definitely a 3-stop, maybe a 4-stop for Fisher. Whoa, that's a late move! Higgins! Wow. That was bold. That was Helvetica bold. But it's a great pass. It was a great pass. Worrell, I think Bill saw him coming and thought, okay, let's not throw this away here. And they're still connected by the string, but the string just got a little bit tangled up. That's all. No harm, no foul. Yeah, Fisher, I think Fisher's going to struggle to do 3-stop as well here. If he, again, on the hards. Riera could put the hards on and make the 3-stop work. I think he really doesn't like them. I think Riera is trying to avoid the hard tyres at all costs here. He's probably going to try to really wring out those mediums at the end of the race. Mills is on the hards. He seems to be doing just fine. You can see most drivers hard medium right now. Only Sanabria and Arrego are on the softs, which obviously, you know, they had the disconnect issue. Not sure if they would have changed their tyres. I don't think they're allowed to do that. It would have just put them on the tyres that are. There's still 40 laps remaining. Oh my word. We're having a good time, but I mean, you know, 40 laps. Whew. Okay, let's settle in for the long haul here. I think 40 laps remaining is quite. It shows you there's 32 laps gone, 42 laps left, which 40 laps left, which means that if you've already done 2 stops, you're in a little bit of trouble here tonight. That's Riera. That's Fisher. He's done 2 stops. I think it's only really those 2 guys. Maybe Sanabria, but we know he obviously was caught in trouble anyway from the first turn. I still don't really know what happened with Sanabria. He ended up on the inside of the wall here after turn 1. So maybe he just lost it on his own. Maybe there was still some contact going on. I'm not too sure. Let's ride on board. Let's enjoy just some onboard action here from Bill Worrell, who's having the best drive of the season so far, for sure. Really late, a little bit too late. Those tyres still have quite a lot of grip, though. If he would have been on used tyres there, Bill Worrell would have been in the kitty litter. Little bit of understeer around this corner, following Higgins. Now it's all about the ERS boost here, which we'll talk about. Drivers can't use the boost the entire lap. Obviously they can in qualifying, but not in the race. They do need to save the battery or not use the battery around every single area of the circuit. Most of them will use the battery here, down the front straight, here, out of the second straight. But if you are in DRS zone, like Bill Worrell is, you've got 2 choices. You could push the boost, make a pass, which he might go for right here. We have to keep an eye on him. Ooh, he's right there. Or he could decide to not push the boost, use the DRS to keep up, and save the battery. The battery doesn't regenerate unless you're off the throttle, so he won't regenerate the battery, but of course, if he's not depleting the battery, it will in turn give him more. So unfortunately, we don't have the graphics to see how much battery each driver has, but generally, you can tell it makes a huge difference. We got Harto overtaking Senior. So Harto has caught Senior. Senior is still in the points, but if Harto caught him, Lalancette should catch him. Oh, Harto jumped over Sturgio because Sturgio's in the pits. So Harto somehow is up to 8th after his pit lane debacle. Lalancette's still in 11th. There is Harto. Oh, and here's Senior. It's a battle. It's a battle here. Harto's gone a little bit deep. Here comes Senior. Oh! Side by side. Here we go. Oh, and it's Senior that's got the lucky letterbox. But Harto still holds on. Will he be able to hold on? Oh, he covers the inside just in case. So close. Great driving there from both. Harto probably had enough boost to hold on, so he is through. But Senior's got some pace today. No doubt about that. He is not just here to make up the numbers, Ricciardo Senior. Hato still hasn't pulled away from him, so Senior definitely in the shout here today. 5.2 seconds is the gap up front. Riera is closing Mills down. Of course, Riera with the fresher tyres and the softer tyres. So that's not a great surprise. He's going to have to pass Mills on the circuit because Mills... Yeah, he's going to have to pass Mills on the circuit because Mills went a long time on the mediums. 23, I think. So obviously he's going to go significantly into this race on the hards. He's probably going to like 50, maybe around like 50. So Mills leads Argenis Riera. We are going to have this fight very, very soon. Back for the lead of this race. This is a great camera shot. Janos is out there doing the camera shots live. He's doing it live, ladies and gentlemen. Probably holding a baby. This is what sim racing is all about. Life and racing trying to come together. So driver of the day so far, I mean, early of course. Quite a few candidates out there. Look at the 3, 4, 5, 6 range, I would say. It's probably going to be one of those guys. Kovacic, Rabe, Worrell, Higgins. Look, I mean, Kovacic having a great try in P3, but how can you deny up 8, up 8, up 8 for Rabe, Worrell, and Higgins? As we see, yeah, getting out of the way there. Would have been Fisher, I believe. So leaders, again, not a great surprise. They're lapping right up till midway through the points. Guys are going to be several laps down. Oh, and we lost Arrigo. Juan Arrigo is out of the race. We didn't see why, but he's out of the race. Lalan sets in the pits again. Hopefully it goes better than the last time that he went into the pits. So Arrigo is the third DNF retirement. Mitsalis, Montero, and Arrigo. Maybe it was another connection problem. That's a shame for Arrigo. He had that electric start. I think it was him. The two McLarens were side by side, so it might have been Rabi. As Kovacic is in the pits. So lap 37, so he's going to have to pit again. These guys are, again, if you might be able to go to the end, but it's not recommended. You're going to be too slow on the used tires, and with the pit delta here, it was only 22, 23 seconds. It's not worth it. Riera stopped catching Mills. Interesting. Mills has got some true pace here, and those hards are just consistently hanging on. Riera is not making inroads. He has got some traffic, so that could be the reason why. They've lapped all the way up to Fisher, as we said. Look at those gaps. 4 seconds between the front two, and then 41 seconds down the road. Listen, if you think it's easy you think, well, I'll at least be racing in the mid-pack, I promise you it is not. The level that Mills and Riera are driving at right now is next level. Montero, you have to put it in there too, I think. Those three are in a league of their own. And it's great to see Mills really able to keep up with Argenis Riera's pace. Mills has always been very clever, very astute tactician. You know, pitting at the right time, not making mistakes, having a great start. Being good on saving the battery, not running out of fuel or brakes. We've seen Riera fail on brakes before, or, you know, not use the 2 tires before by mistake, or do the wrong strategy. Generally, Mills doesn't make those mistakes. But he's not usually as fast as Riera. And today, I'm pleased to say, I think he genuinely is. I think that he has got the pace here to win this race. It's gonna be difficult, but I do think right now he's got a good chance of winning this race. Riera, he just got, you know, He's either got a little bit too much tyre wear or he pitted just maybe a lap or two too soon. He didn't need to. So, obviously I'm not going to second guess the champ. But I'm going to second guess the champ. Let's see how it works out for him. So everybody's on the meh or the huh tyres. Except for Sanabria, who's again doing his own thing. Acosta's still running, still giving it a good go. He's getting absolutely no airtime or no sponsor time here. You know, they say all publicity is good publicity. Not necessarily for OTTO today. I think he'll be just happy to move on to the next round. Silverstone, he's very quick around Silverstone. I remember it well. We had a sim racing hub race a few years ago that had a red flag server crash with about 20 laps to go. So there ended up being like a 20-lap sprint to the end. I think Corey Mackey was in there, Acosta was in there, Walcott, Harto, Magasrevi. It was an epic final end to the race because it was like a 20-lap sprint race. And Acosta was right up there, if my memory serves me correctly. So he's very good around Silverstone. I expect a strong bounce back from him. Rabe in P3. Kovacic P4. We'll see if Kovacic is able to catch him up. The gap is 9.5 right now. We'll keep a beady eye on that. Harto has dropped down below Sturgio. So we've got a pass here from P8. The Ferrari has overtaken the Williams. It's still very close, actually. There's only a 3/10 gap between them. Yeah, so it looks like that was probably just an on-track pass. She sells seashells by the seashore. A lot of sparks coming up off these cars. Very bumpy circuit. Generally, you can still run the car quite low, but you have to be careful not to push it too much. There is Harto behind Sturgio, and actually Harto was in front, it looked like there, but now he's coming to the pits, leaving lots of room, not going to make a speeding in the pit lane penalty here. So Harto comes back into the pits in P9. So he's 30 laps to go. Might go to the end. Oh, well, he's a couple laps down. So, yes, I think he'll probably go to the end on the hard tyres here. 30 laps remaining. Not as many for Matt Harto. He's going to come out. He's actually come out right behind Fisher, who he was racing. But he's a lap down on Fisher now because of the whole incident. Or is that Higgins? Either way, he's a lap down on one of the stake kick salvers. So Harto's going to have to try and unlap himself. He's 6 seconds ahead of Senior. Harto's got fresh tyres. I don't think Senior's going to catch him. He's racing Sturgio. The A9 race is the tight race. 10-11 should be a good race between Senior and Lalancette. Sanabria's in the pits again. Sanabria just likes the pit lane. It's just not going his way today. Alejandro Sanabria just isn't going his way. So right from the get-go, hasn't quite worked. Harto's still right behind. We're watching it because they're close on track, but of course, he's a lap down. He's allowed to make a pass. He doesn't have to not make a pass, of course. The Kick-Sauber will not be getting out of the way anytime soon as Worrell's in the pits. Riera is in the pits again. And he's put the hards on. Okay, so Riera has finally put the hards on. Oh no, is it the mediums? No, it's the hards. Yeah, he's put the hards on. So Riera's tried all three tires here today. Soft, medium, and hard. Was that the strategy? Possibly. If that was the case, he was going for the undercut. He was going to make sure that he got the maximum undercut. He's going for the fast strategy. The question will be, obviously, his pace on the hards. He's 25 seconds behind Mills, and now he's on the same tyres as Mills. But, of course, his are newer, but he also is going to have to go longer on those tyres than Mills will. So, currently, Mills is still leading the race, and he's going to have fresher tyres than Riera, and the option to maybe not use the hards. So, really looking like Mills might be able to hold on and not have Riera... Riera would have to make a pass on track. Unless his pace is really, really strong here. Should catch up. Mills could decide to pit now, of course, and cover our genius off. But I think that's bailing Riera out. I think if Mills pits now, he's kind of bailing out Riera, who needs to go a long way on these tires. So, although obviously Mills would have to go slightly less on the tires, Mills can go a lot further on these tires. We predicted lap 50 at least. And his pace is still good on them, so don't think Mills is going to be pitting anytime soon. He seems to be holding his own right now in the gap too. Because Riera, of course, can't take the meat out of the tires. Oh, Mills is sliding around there. Riera has to look after those tires and somehow catch up Josh Mills. If anybody can do it, it is our genius Riera, the champ. But it's not going to be easy. Not today. Not going to be easy today. We look at the Alps in the background there. The Austrian mountains. It's a good circuit. It's just a little short. If it was a little bit longer, I think it would be a good track. It's missing a couple of turns. It's a little gimmicky, I guess, because of that reason, because it is so short. But, I don't think anybody's going to complain if it stays on the calendar. Now Riera is starting to catch up a little bit. We've got 23 seconds of gap, so Mills would have to pit right now if he wanted to keep the lead of this race, and it wouldn't be guaranteed. Again, I don't think he's going to do that. I thought he was going to for a second there, but he didn't. He's actually got a McLaren on his tail. That would be Rabi, because Arrego's out of the race. So Rabi's a lap down, but he's going to try and unlap himself, I think. Here is Riera. Let's go on board, see how that car's looking on the hards. I mean, Riera's car always looks brilliant, but it's the driver too. It's not just the car. 22 seconds, so 21 seconds. So now Riera would have the net lead of the race. So it's Mills that's going to have to pass Riera on the track now. Easier said than done. He's going to have much better tyres, of course, than Riera. Now, he's coming up behind his teammate. Senior? Yeah, Senior's going to get well out of that way. It's a 30-year contract, but that will be a 3-day contract if you get in the way of Argenis Riera in the team. The team knows who the #1 driver is. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. Take a look if anybody's dropping down the board. It's Ricardo Senior dropped down one spot. So, oh, and he's out of the points now. No, Senior, he's in my favorite position. P11, but he's out of the points. We've got blue flags waving here, but not getting out of the way. This is going to frustrate Riera. Is this Worrell? I think it is. And not really getting out of the way super quick there from Worrell. It was legal, just about. Didn't do Riera any favors, but he didn't lose too much time. Fisher's in the pits again. So it's got to be a 4-stop strategy for Fisher today. That's not ideal. We said earlier, 4-stop doesn't win. Fisher won't be winning today. He's probably going to score some good points still. He's had a good drive, but I don't think he's going to be winning the Austrian Grand Prix. He's going to put on the mediums, go to the end, so still has to do 20, 21, 22 laps because obviously he's a lap down currently. And again, this is kind of part and parcel for the circuit and part and parcel of how good Riera and Mills are, that they've lapped everybody up until P5 so far. And I think they're probably going to lap all the way up to P3. That's the race that Kovacic has on his hands today. Can he stay on the lead lap? And on the podium, of course. So, still 13 cars running. Again, ranking points is out there. And also, you're 3 cars away. Senior's in P11. He's in my favorite position. We all know Ricardo Senior in P11 usually scores a point. And then if he scores a point, that means Acosta's in P11. So everybody wants P11 in order to, especially with 20 laps remaining, P11 is a good position to be in. There's a good chance that one of those people is going to fall out of the points. So here we go, 19 seconds. Mills is still going to circle around again. Don't expect him to pit until at least lap 50. We will keep a beady eye on the gap. If you are interested once again at racing at Sim Racing Hub, join the server on R Factor 2, simracinghub.com. Go to simracinghub.com, Discord channel, YouTube, live streams, Facebook, all of the above. Like and subscribe, of course. And thank you for spending the time with me this evening. So we've not got 50 laps left. It's crazy that we've already done 49 laps. Only 44 laps, I think, around Spa, but of course, much longer circuit. Mills will actually be happy there's quite a lot of laps left, because the more laps left, the longer Riera's going to have to go on the tyres. So Riera here now, okay. Okay, Mills is going to pit. Here we go. So we thought lap 50, and he's going to be lap 49 going into lap 50, so we're pretty close. Very slow going into the pits again there too for Mills, just making sure that we didn't get any type of a drive-through penalty. Again, don't need to be making those mistakes. He usually doesn't. Riera will take the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix, with Josh Mills going to be very, very fast on the tyres. So there it is. The graphic has changed. What will be the gap coming out of the pits? Mills has got the bright yellow mediums on, and he's got 20 laps to chase, catch, and pass the champ to win the Grand Prix. But he's only 5 seconds behind, and he's going to be much faster on these tyres. So now does Riera can't pit and try to chase Mills down. He's just not going to have enough time. We've seen Mills' pace today. So Riera's committed. He's going to the end. Nothing he can do. I don't know how he's going to hold Mills off, but he's going to have to try and hold him off. So Kovacic, the gap down to 31 seconds, of course, to him and Mills, but he's going to have to make another stop. He's got third in the bank. He's in line for the checking account. What a great podium that will be for Dejan Kovacic. Back on the podium at Sim Racing Hub. Hopefully not the commentator's curse. Rabi, great drive. Needs to be. Teammate out of the race. Probably due to connection issues. McLaren needs some points. It's interesting actually in the constructors today, because no team really dominating the points, right? We got Aston, we got Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Sauber, Cash App, Racing Bull. The next second car is Fischer, so both kick Sauber's 5 and 7. But 5 and 7 is not going to score as many points as Aston, of course, in first. Williams only got one driver. Ferrari both in the points, but not going the way that Sergio wanted it to go today, right from the get-go. And both Red Bulls are in the points, but of course Lalancet, he's had a disaster of a race. Not really anything of his own doing, to be honest with you. I think Lalancet's going to be looking forward to the end of this one. 20 laps remaining, 20 more laps of you listening to my voice. Hopefully you stick around and I stick around. And hopefully the voice sticks around. Trying to keep it entertaining here. There's not too much going on right now. As obviously Mills catching up Riera. That it says the gap was 4 seconds. That's not 4 seconds. That's just not for. Oh, that's a back marker. That's why it's a green back marker. That is why. I was going to say that's the smallest 4-second gap I've ever seen in my life. Mills is going to start to see Riera. There he is. And when you can see a driver in front, I've said it before, I'll say it again. That's worth a couple tenths of a second. when you're chasing the driver in front and you can see him and you see the gap closing, all of a sudden, you know, you find a bit of time, you don't even know where you find it, you go into this zone, especially when you're chasing down the lead of the Grand Prix like Josh Mills is as the championship leader. Mills might actually get driver of the day. He's had a stormer. Had a brilliant drive so far. He hasn't put a foot wrong. Neither has this man. Neither has this man. Dejan Kovacic. P3 for Ferrari. Number 69 is the number that he chose. It's P3 for Ferrari. And he's looking comfortable. He's got 10-second gap to Rabi. Rabi, is he going to close him down? I mean, we know both have to pit again, I believe. Higgins and Worrell. I can't believe it. P13 and 14 on the grid. In P5 and P6. And a legit P5, P6. Okay, what's going on here? That'll be Riera lapping Sergio, who's right behind Harto. So I think Sergio's trying to catch Harto for P8 on fresher tires, but Riera's lapping them. Of course, Riera leading the race. Not going to want to get caught up in anything like that. Lalenset's in the pits again. Final time today, hopefully. But is that going to give Senior back P10? Yes, it is, because he's not even in his box yet. Ricardo Senior is going to take back P10. Lalenset falls to P11. And the chase is going to be on. This chase is well and truly on. So both Red Bulls are going to be chasing the next car in front here. Josh Mills from America chasing our Argenis Riera, the champion. For Aston Martin, number 43. Josh Mills chose unlucky number 13. It's probably why he hasn't done anything championship-wise since. You can see Harto's actually right behind Riera. So where's Sergio on Harto? He is there. Oh, and here comes Mills. So Sergio's trying to catch Harto, but he can't because he keeps having to get out of the way. Oh, he went deep there. And here goes Mills. Now that might actually be okay because that means that Mills has passed him at a good place. If Sergio's clever here, he's going to stick right behind Mills. Harto has to get out of the way of Mills as well. So can Sergio do the little sneaky Mika Hakkinen on Michael Schumacher backmarker move? Sticking on the back of Josh Mills, obviously not an easy thing to do. But if he can do it, he's on the soft tires. Harto's on the hard tires. So Sergio, is he going to make those soft tires last to the end? I'm not sure, but he's very, very quick right now. Harto's gone for the more conservative approach of the hards. And a DNF for Rabi. No, we've lost Aaron. Is this a replay? This is a replay. We've lost Aaron Rabi. Aaron Rabi's out of the race for McLaren. Both McLarens with electrical faults. Zach Brown is fired. That's a disaster. Rabi was having a great drive. A great drive. Or did he bin it? Surely he didn't bin it. Surely this is just an electrical fault here. Saying he's down in 6th. Wait, we're still watching Rabi. This is not a replay. Oh, there we go. Maybe it was a replay. I'm not sure what's going on, but I think Rabi's out of the race, and I don't like it. That's tough. It does move. Lalenset overtook Senior. Senior went to P11, but it's going to move Senior from P11 back up to P10. And here comes Sergio right behind Harto now. These guys are fighting for P8. Ferrari, he's got the DRS. Williams is going to try and hold him back. Sergio, oh, and he's in the wall, and that's it. He's going to have lost his wings, surely. And that's going to be fight over. A huge sigh of relief on the Williams team. because they were coming under pressure, but it looks like they're going to hold on to P7. Senior will get back into the points. This is why you love P11, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it came at the cost of his second retirement from McLaren. Unless Rabi can come back into the race, if he gets back into the race right now, then of course he'll still be in the points. It can happen. It's happened before, but it's usually Montero or Riera. You have to be that good to score points and get a disconnect. Should be impossible, but those two guys are that good. So Mills, 2 seconds behind, chasing down the lead of this race. We are going to have some action here to end this race. Don't go anywhere. Don't even think about turning on the World Cup. Who cares? We all know Curacao is going to win it anyway. Mills, 1.6 behind. If these two drivers collide, we could be looking at a Kovacic win here. A debut win for Kovacic in Sim Racing Hub. That would... I don't want people to crash. I never do. Kind of want them to crash. It would be pretty epic. Lalan Set is overtaking Sergio. Sergio will be in the pits, I would think, or just pitted. Probably fixing his damage. So definitely that battle is over for P7. 1.4 seconds now the gap. You know, Mills is closing as Kovacic pits from third place. Ooh. Don't want to be crashing there. Sanabria's in the pits too. He's still running. Again, this is why Acosta and Sanabria are still running, because now they've overtaken Rabi. Ranking points. And Acosta's in P11, 1 position away from a point. Harto's in the pits. I think he's just done that because he can. I don't think he needed to. I think he's just decided I can get a freeze pit stop here, get some fresh tires on. Why not? Here we go. 1 second is the gap. Can Mills get the DRS open? Of course, that will immediately put the pressure on Argenis Riera. He's probably been saving some errors. Riera is very, very clever in wheel-to-wheel combat. This is not going to be easy pass. Ricardo Sr.'s in the pits? No! Does that mean Acosta's going to get by? Is Acosta even on the same lap? I haven't seen Acosta all day. I actually don't know what Acosta's been doing. Here we go for the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix. There was Acosta in the background. He's got a great viewpoint here of Josh Mills attacking Argenis Riera. A little wiggle from Riera out of the hairpin. Here comes Mills. He's got the DRS. Riera goes defensive. Will Mills launch one? Oh, side by side. He's going to wait his turn. Perfect braking from Riera. Here goes Mills again. You can't go around the outside of there. Riera's tyres aren't bad enough for that. And I think Mills here, of course he wants to get the pass done right now. You don't want to give any hope to Riera. He might even do it into the penultimate corner here. Riera sees that coming. He goes defensive. Riera will be pushing the boost like crazy, trying to hold him off. Oh, can't pass through that section. Look at Acosta. Acosta's got a cinema view of this one. DRS, we've got a great fight on our hands here. Mills is trying to get the run out of turn 1. Mills can be a little bit patient here because Riera's tyres are going to be toast by the end, but at least Riera's got the hards on. Will he go for a launch at the inside? Josh Mills for Red Bull Racing. Riera covers him off, goes defensive to the inside. Mills on the outside. Will he have to do a move again? You can see Riera's going to cover the inside every time. He's such a good defensive driver. He knows exactly where to put the car. He knows exactly where to brake. Mills is going to try and hold around the outside this time. I love it. It's an attempt of something different. This is what you need to do. Make yourself unpredictable. Riera is very predictable. You know exactly where he's going to go. He's going to put his car exactly where he needs to be. It didn't work out for Mills, but it doesn't matter. He'll catch back up. He has the DRS. I don't think Acosta's going to get involved. I mean, technically, if Acosta punted Mills out of the race, Acosta would get a point, but I think people would see through that strategy. Here comes Mills. 10 laps remaining at the Red Bull Ring. The Red Bull trying to win in the ring. Oh, we're very close this time. It's going to be a near impossible for Riera to hold Mills off this time. Here goes Josh Mills, side by side with the DRS. Oh, and he touched the grass. He couldn't get it done because he touched the grass. He's going to get a good run out of the corner here. Oh, and there goes Riera into the wall. Riera into the wall. We don't see that very often. Our Genis Riera is in the wall. He's patiently waiting. How much damage does he have? It doesn't matter. He's going to finish second. He's got no front wing. Will he finish second? The race for P1 is surely all but over. Josh Mills outlasts Riera. I don't know if he liked those tires. Here we have a replay. I think we know what's going to happen. The car just lost it. And that is all she wrote. Riera's going to pit. Let's see where he comes out here. Oh, he's got a big gap. 55 seconds. Yeah, it'll be enough. It'll be enough. As long as he doesn't blow the engine. It looks just like a front wing replacement, so it's probably about 15 seconds, which feels like a lifetime. And it's about half a lap around this track, but we're waiting for the go. You can see the gap. 35, 34, 33, 32, 31. We need to get going sometime soon here. And we are. Kovacic is going to be too far back. Riera gets off those hards. I don't think he's going to run the hards ever again. Did not like them. He didn't seem to like many tyres today. I think just this mediums. That's why he chose this one. I mean, there's 5 laps to go and he's not even putting the softs on. Did he put the softs on? No, he's got the mediums on. So with 6 laps to go, Riera still prefers the mediums. That should pretty much tell you what his thoughts are on the softs. And also, I don't think he liked the hards either, so P2 for Riera today, which means Josh Mills will extend his championship lead if everything stays this way. 62 seconds is the gap. This is dreamland for Josh Mills. He can cruise to the finish. He won't, but he can. Cruise to the finish, take in the beautiful Austrian countryside and cranes, and extend his championship lead. It's not going to be enough to relax. The reality is, you know, 1 DNF and Riera's going to be right back there, but it's nice to break that win streak from Argenis Riera. He had 4 wins, I believe, in a row coming into this race. Mills needed a bounce back. Montero couldn't get it done. Mills looks like he'll be able to do it. A Red Bull running around the Red Bull ring. Phew. Unbelievable. Lalanset has recovered to P8. So great, so good points for Red Bull, honestly. It's going to be 4 for Lalanset. 25 for Mills, so 29 points for Red Bull. Aston, of course, drop all the way to 18. 19! Senior's going to get a point. 19, because Acosta's still a lap down from Senior. So this is Acosta, of course, he's behind Mills. Mills might let him go here. Absolutely no point in having Acosta behind him. Acosta's got some good pace. We're riding on board with OTO. We haven't seen much of him today. He is in my favorite position, P11. Mills, is Mills going to let him by? Is Acosta just going to sit maybe? He's very slow in the straight line here, Acosta. Wouldn't he have had DRS? Costa's got DRS here, and he still can't keep up with Mills, so he's not going to pass him anytime soon. Either too much wing, or maybe he's run out of boost. Can't be saving fuel because you actually use more fuel not using the boost. Yes, exactly. That's what I said. We got a fight here. No, this is Harto again trying to unlap himself from Worrell in P4. Bill Worrell in P4. Let's talk about that for a little bit, shall we? What a drive. We've been really waiting for Worrell to take off this year. He won the Winter Series, so Worrell qualified by winning the Winter Series, won it in style, got himself a great seat, has had some good pace. I just haven't really seen him put it all together, and today it all came together. P4, that's got to be one of his best finishing positions ever, I believe, at Sim Racing Hub. It's a great, great drive. Up 9 spots. No better than this man. Well, actually, that's a lie. It is a little bit better. It's 1 place better than this man. Sean Higgins, P5, an amazing drive as well. In the Sauber. Started 14 or 13. Yeah, 14. Worrell started 13. They're both up 9 spots. And the 2-kick Saubers are actually neck and neck. Oh, hang on. We have had a bit of a fight here. Fisher is catching Higgins. So both kick Saubers look like they're going to finish 5 and 6. But in what order? There's not many laps left. And actually, Fisher's a lap down. So that's going to hurt even more. That's Lalancet getting out of the way of Fisher. He's chasing Harto, but he's not going to catch him. 15 seconds, and the gap is staying the same. Not a great race for Harto. Obviously caught up in the pits. Also started 9th. Lalancet, also not actually worse race because he started 4th, I believe, Lalancet, or he's certainly up there. And you know, at turn 1, these two have history. It was Sotiris Sergio that ran into the back of Jean-Pierre Lalancet to start all of the carnage, and these two drivers somehow are still going to score points here today, when yet it was their collision that started the chain reaction of chaos. Acosta's not going to catch Senior. 32 seconds. Senior is on for a point here today. It's all he needs to do to have another 10 years put on the end of that contract. He needs to score 1 point a year to keep his drive. And he's going to do it here. And actually, he's had some really good pace today, Ricardo Senior. We saw him driving wheel to wheel. I think it was with Harto and a few other drivers. And, you know, he's had some solid pace here today. Of course, ran the luck. But sometimes you have to be lucky. You also have to not put a foot wrong in order to make the most of it. It's almost impossible, it feels like, at this point for Mills to not win this race. Sturgio's catching Lalancet. We're going to have a fight here. What's going on with Fisher and Higgins? It's 3.5. I think they're going to be a lap short of a Fisher-Higgins fight here. Fisher's on the softs. But he ended, I think Fisher did a 4-stop here today. Higgins did a 2-stop. So that is why Higgins is ahead of Fisher. Fisher's had a very solid drive. Hasn't made any mistakes. It's just that car has been chomping on tires all day long. And you can do a 3-stop here, but you can't do a 4-stop here, really. P6 is still a good position. Oh, he's actually on the medium, sorry. Higgins is on the softs. I can't keep up. There's been a lot of different tires used here today. Certainly not. Nobody can decide which is the best tire, which is very interesting. It makes for some really interesting racing, but some very difficult commentating, I will say. And you don't quite know who's on what. So Mills is going to start the last lap of the Austrian Grand Prix. This is Lalancet that we are watching, not Mills. You will tell because the lap ticker will tick to 71. when Josh Mills crosses the line. Great drive from Mills. Really recovered back. He had genuine pace, genuinely deserved to win today. You know, Riera did make that mistake, was defending beautifully, but I don't know if he would have been able to hold Mills back for that amount of time. Those tyres, not sure how much they would have lasted. So Josh Mills is on the final run around. We will keep an eye on him. We are watching this Fisher-Higgins battle. 2 seconds is the gap. It's gonna be too much, I think. We do now pick up the championship leader, the race leader, the Red Bull Unlucky 13 around the Red Bull Ring is only 4 corners away from winning this race. And honestly, he could put it in neutral and win it now because the gap is huge from Riera after that incident. Josh Mills is going to come across the line and round the penultimate corner, past the Bull in the ring at the Red Bull Ring. It is Josh Mills for Red Bull Oracle Racing who wins in Austria eventually. Riera will come through in second. Kovacic was not close enough here today to catch Argenis Riera. Actually, is he right behind him? Kovacic? I couldn't tell, but those... No, it's a 43-second gap between the two drivers. Okay, I was looking at the splits for a second. There is Kovacic. Dejan Kovacic with third place podium for Ferrari. He'll be ecstatic with that one. I am for him too. A great, great drive from him. Argenis Riera in P2 comes around. The podium last year was Riera, Montero, Mills. Predictable. This year, it's Mills, Riera, and Kovacic. Is Kovacic driver of the day? I'm going to say no, because Montero not being there, of course, gifted him the podium. He didn't put a foot wrong, but I'm going to give driver of the day to this guy, Bill Worrell. Double R, double L, P4 from P13. Bill Worrell gets the Visa Cash App MasterCard American Express Driver of the Day award from myself. And everybody can go home and celebrate. Of course, here we go. Josh Mills wins the race. Argenis Riera, the only guy to finish on the same lap as Mills. Of course, it was much closer than that. Kovacic in third. Bill Worrell, driver of the day, in P4. Higgins does hold off Fisher in P5 and 6. Great points for Kick Sauber. Harto comes through in P7, 2 laps down. Lalenset also on the same 2 laps down in 8. Sotiris Sturgio P9, and probably a visit to the stewards after the race. And Ricciardo Sr. rounds out the top 10, gets himself a point in a very high attrition race. OTTO does finish the race. Credit where credit's due. Kept it going in P11. My favorite position. Sanabria in 12. Rabi, Orego, Montero, Mitsalas, all DNF'd. Very unlucky day for McLaren, and especially Aaron Rabi. That, I believe, will wrap things up from round 8 of the Sim Racing Hub Championship at the Red Bull Ring. I have been Matt Hartley here on the broadcast. We will join you in 2 weeks' time on July 9th from Silverstone, the 2026 British Grand Prix. Before we head on to we are in the European part of the schedule right now, Spa-Francorchamps lurking on the 23rd of July. Thank you all for your joining us on this Thursday night. Take care.